Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. This is my third video on gouache this month, and I'm really happy to share this with you because it's a really pretty gradient sky with the reflection of it on water, which I think is a very fun subject to paint. So, gather all your supplies and let's dive right into the video. For the supplies, I'm using the 300 GSM cold pressed paper, some gouache paints in the shade Winsor Blue, Orange Lake Deep, Alizarin Crimson, Black and White. You can pick any orange, red and blue that you have available with you. Make sure that you have a flat brush, 2 round brushes and one size 0 brush to add in the details. But flat brush is a must because it makes the blending process really fun and easy. A mixing palette, of course, to mix all our paints, 2 jars of water, one for clean supply of water and one for cleaning our brushes, a towel and pencil. The first thing that I've done here is to tape down my paper on all 4 sides, and then I'm going to make a rough sketch of what I want to do. So I've divided my paper in 2/3 and I'm going to sketch these far off bushes near the horizon, and I'm also making these lines because we'll be making a tree that is on the lake somewhat. There's a little bit of a land part on the lake, and we have this tree and the reflection of the tree, so that is basically that what we are going for. And then I've taken all my paints on my mixing palette because I just wanted to show you the consistency of the paint that we go for, because a lot of you always have questions on what consistency, because sometimes your paints are too thick, too dark, and sometimes they're not dark enough, they're really light. So I just wanted to take you through the process. So I really like taking all my paints on my mixing palette, and to the Orange Lake Deep I'm adding white just to give it a little bit of the pastel color, because I just don't want bold orange and bold blues to it, so I like adding a bit of white to it. So using the Orange Lake Deep and white mixture, we're just going to make the sky now. So using left and right strokes, I'm blending it to the lower part of the horizon, and I'm adding white just to blend it out. And then from the orange there's going to be a transition to the Winsor blue and white. So as you can see, I'm mixing with Winsor blue with white and a little bit of red to make it a nice give it a nice purple undertone actually. So that is what I'm going for, and I've laid it on the top part of my sky, leaving that white band in between empty, because as you know, we use white to blend the two colors together for the nice and smooth transition from one color to another. So I always leave that white band, so you'll see me do that here. And using white, I'll blend the orange and the blue together. So let's go and play around with the blending. To make your blending really seamless and smooth, you can always rinse off the paints on your brush and load it up with a bit of water to reactivate the paints that you've already laid. Like you can see here, I'm going over with water and the paints are reactivated, and then you can blend them together. So this makes the blending really smooth and there are no harsh lines. This all the entire process just becomes really smooth. So if you feel your paints have dried, you can always load it up with a bit of water to reactivate the paints and blend them together. I also went ahead and added some red clouds near the horizon just to show the sunset sky, make the sunset sky more vibrant and show these denser clouds near the horizon. Make sure that you're blending the red and the orange together so that the red doesn't just look like it's standing there, it merges with the sky. We want it to blend in a little bit. So just make sure that you're blending it properly. And if you think the paints have dried, you can always load up a bit of water just to make the blending process easier. And that's it. So once that's done, we're going to go ahead and paint the lake as well. So the idea here is just to replicate what we have done in the sky part, to replicate the same exact thing in the lake part as well. So I'm using the same colors, the same process that we did earlier. That was lay the orange, lay the blue, leave that white band in between, and then go ahead and use white to blend the two colors together, and then add the red near the horizon. So the entire process remains the same, the blending remains the same, because we are going to just replicate the sky part on the ground. Do excuse my camera for all the focusing shenanigans it did to me. I thought I focused it to one point, but apparently I did not, and it just ended up so looking like this. So if this gives you a headache, I'm really sorry about that. Please excuse my phone for this. Once the paper has completely dried, it's time for us to add these far off trees near the horizon. So I'm using a mixture of alizarin crimson and a bit of black here. I didn't want to add exact black to my painting, so that's why I went ahead and made this dark brown color, which I think looks really good. So using that paint, I'm going to make these random strokes, dab the paint just to make these bushes and add a few trees with a defined shape. So you can pick in any trees that you want to make here, that's completely up to you. Once I was done adding the trees near the horizon, I went ahead and added the reflection of it on the lake. So for the reflection, I'm using the same color, but I've added a lot of water to it just to make it of a lighter color. And I'm going to replicate the exact same thing that is on the top half to the bottom part. It's like creating a mirror image. So you're going to replicate the exact same thing that you see in the other direction. So that's exactly what you have to do. What you see, just put it, make it upside down and create that as the reflection. Now, as per the sketch, it's time for us to add those grass and the bigger trees in the corner of my lake. So as you can see, the water has not covered this ground part of the ground part, so it's going to have a tree over here and a few little grass and shrubs around it. So that is exactly what we're sketching. We're using the same color, but just this time I've added a bit more black to it, and I'm just going to make this tree and a smaller tree right next to it and a few little grass and shrubs around it. So that's the basic idea of this painting. Once I was done adding the grass and the trees, it's time for us to create the reflection. So for the reflection, like I said, we are going to do the same thing like we did earlier. Replicate what we see, make it upside down and replicate it as a mirror image. So using a lighter tone of the same color that you used for the tree, add a bit of water to it so that tone is, lighter, and you're going to replicate exactly what you see down. So if you think you're getting confused, you can sketch it out again and then just go over, and that's it. So create the reflections and we're almost done with our painting here. I went ahead and added a few more branches to my tree. So make sure that if you're adding any extra prominent details to your subject on the top, you have to show it in the reflection as well, especially for extra branches, extra leaves. You'll have to show that to the reflection as well. So I will add the details to my reflection after I'm done adding the extra branches. And yeah, that's it. I really like how it's all coming together. Like, the composition of this painting is really simple, right? Anyone can pick up their set of paints and paint this, and this is exactly what I want you guys to do. Even if you don't know anything about gouache, or you can, even if you have poster colors or acrylic, you can give this a try. So the whole idea here is to just have fun, and that is why I created this simple, easier, composition, so that a lot of you can paint. And if you're painting this, don't forget to share it with me on Instagram. I do say that in the end of my video. I will say it in the end of my video, but I thought I'll say it in between as well, so that you guys don't forget. I also went ahead and added some extra grass and shrubs here and there on the lake. So just make these little twigs in random places, but make sure you're adding their reflection on the water, similar to what I just taught you. So using the same process, do that, and we'll finish it off with a set of splatters. So obviously we have to add splatters, right? So load your brush with some paint, tap it against another brush to create some splatters, and that's it. Your painting is done. Let's peel the tape off and reveal our masterpiece. I am really happy how it has turned out, simple and fun. So let me know what you think about this painting in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more art videos, and don't forget to share this with your friends if you think they like it. And if you've painted this, don't forget to share it with me on Instagram at the Simply Aesthetic, and use the hashtag paint with TSA. Bye bye.